Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Music Lab podcast. My name is Dogg, and I'm so happy to be back with all of you for another episode of the podcast. Today, I am so excited to hang out and chat with Bandana Cheyenna. How are you today?
I'm so good. I'm chilling. It's been a great day.
Not too often I'll have, an interviewee that has just as good of a background as I do. So I salute you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you got a good one too. I love the whole poster. Are these posters you've collected throughout the years?
Correct. Yep. The newest
Nice.
one would be the SoCo Stump from last year at South by. That was a lot of good
Nice.
bands. Uncle Lucius got to play. Yeah, a lot of good bands. That Peterson Brothers, yeah, Kelly Willis, Greyhounds. Yeah, but yeah, Caroline.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah.
Great list.
I'm a Radiohead guy, so of course got to represent Radiohead, and
Yes.
yeah. So enough about me. Let's talk about you. So we got introduced to you at South by Southwest this past year. It was your first time playing it. Talk, give the audience kind of your taste of Austin and like what the
Mhm.
festival meant to you.
Wow. Well, it meant so much really because I grew up looking at South by as this festival where so many industries come together, especially music. And I would always see, flyers about it. I had never been, even as a music fan. So this year to go and play was like just something huge off my bucket list. And just my inner child was so proud and happy. Um, but yeah, it was my first time in Austin. And I just loved the city. Like, I loved how the whole festival was set up. Um, a few of the days I was in the South by Southwest songwriting camp. So that's kind of how I got plugged into play this year. Because of my success as a writer, I was asked to join the writing camp, and then I was able to play the songwriting camp showcase. So yeah, I was just super thankful to be involved, and um, artists from all over the world came to this writing camp. So it was cool to like collaborate and then go enjoy the festival at night.
So were there any bands or artists that you saw that really threw, like that blew you away?
Yeah, let's see. What's his Jack Johnson. I was gonna say Banana Pancakes, that artist. um I saw him one night and a couple smaller rock bands open. I can't quite remember their name, but he
Yeah.
really blew me away because he had this surfing documentary that he's been working on, and he had it playing as he was performing to it. So I just thought that was so cool to bring, another element of film into his set. It was super special.
I'm so like I lived at the beach for 7 years down in Ocean City, Maryland, and like you wouldn't see many surfers out there, but like when you did, like it's just like for me, like it's just the coolest thing, like I'm just always captivated by like how people can do that in the ocean. Like, are you kind of the
Yeah.
same way?
It made me want to learn. Like, I love the surfing culture so much. I feel like in another life, maybe I was out there with them.
Have you written a song about the ocean or about like the beach or like any?
Actually, yes. Maybe that's a segue into talking about the Europe trip because I did write a song called Ocean on that trip. And it's kind of comparing the ocean to like how deep my love is, like my capacity to love. And yeah, it's kind of a special one. I'm excited to release.
So yeah, where all did you go on this European songwriting trip? Because I saw your Instagram pictures. I mean, it looked amazing. So tell the audience, yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I feel super lucky to be plugged in with this group of really great producers and DJs in the like Berlin, writing scene. And so they were having this writing camp. At once a year, they all come together and hold the camp in a different spot. So last year it was in Poland, and then this year it was in the Czech Republic. So we were in the Czech Republic. We rented this giant house, and we had like, I think, 8 or 9 different studio setups in all the different rooms. And it was just like creative people doing what we love all day, every day. And, when you get together for that purpose of just creating for like a week, it takes all the pressure off. And I think I wrote like 15 songs in 5 days. Like it was just flowing. So it was miraculous, truly.
Now, I mean, I gotta ask, like, so, on a long flight over there, is that when you're like kind of mentally preparing for something like that? Or are you going back like a couple weeks to try and like kind of mentally prepare for that? Or what is that like process for you?
Mentally prepare, I think you mean like ideas or
Yeah, or just like to get your mindset into that creative process, like you were saying.
mm, hmm. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I really prepared mentally for it on the way. It's just kind of like I'm used to writing a lot. So I just kind of go with the flow, and I wake up and kind of prepare every day. Like I have my daily rituals that I do that help me when I'm writing. Like I do my morning pages, which means like write in my journal for 3 or 4 pages. And I meditate in the morning. And on this trip, we were all doing like sauna and cold plunge because the Airbnb had a sauna. So I would say I didn't do too much to prepare beforehand, but once I got there, I got in a good like routine that kind of helped me be creative every day.
I mean, I've never cold plunged, but I hear it's so good for you. Like, is it like, I mean, what do you get out of it, like personally?
I get satisfaction, and um it just kind of makes me feel like, yes, I did something hard first thing in the morning. I can do anything today. But besides that, I can also feel my body like when you get in the hot sauna and then cold plunge and then get back in the sauna, I can feel just everything in my body. Like I feel the energy buzzing. It's almost like a high. Like it's really it's just interesting, and it's nice to feel that in the morning. So, yeah.
So let's take the audience back to, little Cheyenne. When did we start thinking that this could be a career for us? And like, when did you start playing music?
Hmm. Well, I don't remember when I started playing, honestly, because it was so early. But my mom would always say my dad like played guitar up to her belly when she was pregnant with me. So that's like the running joke of how I was always musical since I came out the womb, really. Um, but I think around age 5 or 6, they put me in piano lessons.
Okay.
Um, and I kind of learned a little guitar from my dad as well. And then I was just always writing and writing songs, stories, whatever. And I think around age 12, I realized it was a job. Like people in Nashville on this thing called Music Row had publishing deals, and they went in and wrote songs every day for a living. And so once I found that out, I knew, oh, I need to like move to Nashville. I want to do that every day as a career.
Mm.
So that's kind of around the time I decided. And um, I mean, I also grew up singing on the worship team at church and being musical in other ways like that. So, yeah, I got to Nashville in 2017, and it's been a wild ride, but finally got a publishing deal 2 years ago, and yeah, it's really surreal to see the childhood dream come to reality.
So you touched on religion a little bit in church. Like how did religion and church kind of shape you, not only musically, but like, how did it develop your character?
Wow, good question. Um, I mean, I am not religious anymore. I think growing up, it sheltered me from a lot, which was perhaps a blessing. Now I see. It shaped me in like ways that I was more focused on my music and my goals than maybe other things like dating or I don't know, like certain things that my church sheltered me from. I resented for a while, but now I see how it helped me grow my talents because I was focused on that. Um, and I think also like it did instill in me this idea that there is a greater power. And now, after years of deconstruction and, you know, inner work,
Sure.
I'm not religious per se, but I've found my way back to that belief of like, there is a God that loves everyone. And, you know, who's to say what it looks like or what it is, but um, I do believe that there's something divine like guiding my path because I've seen it in my life. And so, yeah, I think growing up in the church kind of prepared me for that more like spiritual belief system.
Mhm.
And that's really, that's guided my path a lot through the like uncertainty. So,
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So I want to know then, because you were so sure so early on that you wanted to like have music as your career, did academics then kind of like fall by the wayside, or did that still, and like was your social life still like,
hmm,
like active and all that stuff, or did all that kind of go by the wayside?
I would say academics were good. Like I knew I wanted to get scholarships because we didn't really have much money growing up.
Mhm.
So I kind of always applied myself in school. But social life, that's an interesting one because my childhood journey was a bit odd. Like I changed schools every year of my life. So I feel like I never really planted into anywhere or like made a social life. I was kind of just a floater. And again, that's something that for a long time I resented, but now as I'm older, I see how it prepared me for a lot of things in life. And like I'm very flexible and go with the flow because I've had to be, and I can get along with so many different people because I've been in so many different places. So, um, yeah, I mean, academics were great. Um, Social life, not so much, but I would like come home and write songs about it. So, you know, all's well that ends well.
So
It
do
was
you
meant to
like
be.
any childhood friends that you still like connect with, or like, like your social group now? Like, are you more of like quality, not quantity, or like is that kind of hard to do in this, in, being in the music industry?
Yeah, I'm definitely quality over quantity. I have two really close friends from home that I still keep in touch with and talk with regularly. And I met both of them. I met one of them in middle school, and then the other I met at church in high school. So they've both been kind of rocks in my life. And yeah, I'm thankful that we've stayed in touch for sure.
So obviously style is a huge part of your persona as well as like your musical, talk about how style, influences your music and vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like life is too short to wear boring clothes, and I love DIY fashion. Like, I love to wear something and make it feel like this is so me, you know? Um, I I just don't want to I don't know, like I don't want to go out into the world unless I'm excited about what I'm wearing. So that's kind of like a motivational thing for me because when I feel excited about what I'm wearing, I feel like that energy comes through in how I interact in life and like even in the songs I write.
Mhm.
And yeah, I I don't know how else to explain it really. Um, but yeah, I would say just personalizing everything is kind of my favorite. Like sewing my jeans, painting on my vests and like jean jackets and thrifting and um I really love secondhand things because I feel like they have a story and they're already worn in and um yeah.
I would imagine that Nashville has some great thrift stores. Speak on that.
Oh my gosh, so many good ones. My absolute favorite is this one called Karma Boutique. And I went so often that I made friends with the owner. Her name is Terry Cherry. And she actually custom made me a few pairs of patchwork jeans. And just so much of my wardrobe is from her boutique. It's crazy. But she has such a collection of gorgeous things, like all secondhand, but then she also upcycles. So she'll like DIY jeans and handbags and yeah, she inspires me so much.
Yeah, I mean, I love your bell bottoms, the ones
Oh,
with the
thank you.
patches on them. I know that's kind of like your thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how many pairs do we own?
I think so. I started a series called Bandana Cheyenna's Bell Bottoms, where I'm showing every pair. And I think right now I'm at like 31 pairs. Um, and I probably need to give some away because I don't wear them often enough. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's a problem, kind of.
I mean,
But
there's
I've got to
worse
have a
addictions
pair
to
to
have,
match
right?
every mood. Like,
So when you did the South by set and when you're doing like these live shows right now and recently, is it, and especially now that you have all of this music coming out, is it difficult to come up with a set list or do you kind of have it
mm,
down to like a science at this point?
that's a great question. I actually did have trouble just consolidating what I wanted to play live at South by because it was such a big deal for me and like I was so excited to play. I was like, which songs are really going to shine? But then also, what do I feel most confident singing live and like what's going to translate best with the audience? Those are all things I'm still kind of taking into account because I haven't been doing my artistry full time for very long. So, yeah, like learning how songs that I'm used to only having them in the studio, but then bringing them out into the world and seeing how they kind of interact with a crowd is an interesting new challenge. So I don't have it down. I'm still learning. But I would say the South by set, it had some great energy. I really liked what we chose. So,
When songwriters, especially, and I think asking you this, I think I will get a really great answer. Oftentimes, you hear an artist say, the songs are yours up until you release them, and then they're
mm,
everyone else's.
wow, yes, that's so true.
Talk about that like kind of dichotomy because it really is like, a little bit of a mind fuck, right?
It is. It really is. I also saw one songwriter friend of mine, she posted a thing that's like, songwriting is like what animal is it that rejects their newborns or something? Like,
A
I can't,
seahorse?
it
No,
maybe,
that's no,
maybe
that
it's,
is it a seahorse?
it
Maybe
might be a
along the same
seahorse.
lines. Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, oh, I love this thing so much while it's inside of me and I own it. But then, like, once I put it out, it's just kind of like, oh, there it is. All right, on to the next one. Like, it's like such a constant, I don't know. It's just a constant cycle. Like, it's always, you're always living, so you're always writing something new. And so it's great to release it and be able to start a new chapter. Um, but yeah, I do think like once you kind of let it go, you lose control or like you lose the preciousness a little bit, which is actually, I think, a good thing. Like, we shouldn't be so precious about our work and like hold it all because it's meant to be shared and enjoyed. And yeah, so.
So I mean, being you've kind of worn some different hats in this industry, but like, seeing it from those different hats, like, what do you think is the biggest issue with like the music industry right now for like artists like you? Like, is it just a
Mm.
financial thing? Is it a reach thing? Is it a social media thing? Like, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge for you?
That is such a great and loaded question. I feel like the main challenge for me and what I hear from other artists is how everything right now for small artists is based on social numbers. So, on one hand, it's amazing because we have the freedom to show up on these platforms and build fan bases. Like, anyone can do it. So, like, the access has never been easier, but it's so saturated. And because of that, you have to show up so frequently if you want to rise above the noise. So, like, I think the biggest struggle is showing up so much on social media and then, like, getting burnt out to do your actual art because your brain is so focused on metrics and social media and how to make the best TikTok hook or whatever. Um, so I don't really know what if there's a solution. Like, I do think people are getting sick of technology, and I'm seeing more like no phone parties and no phones allowed shows pop up, which is really cool. So I think there might be like this underground culture starting of like smaller artists doing these intimate shows where no technology is around. Um, but yeah, I don't know. The social media thing is just tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, though. I think there is now, and especially with this, the whole Live Nation Ticketmaster thing, like, people paying just
Yes.
so much money for concert tickets and like the
Mm.
struggle. I think there's really a backlash, and I think people have reached like a boiling point with like all of that. And I think you're right. I think there is going to be this migration now to like, smaller venues, like this idea
Mhm.
of community, I think is really gonna, come back. And like, for a town like Nashville that has all of these venues that are like that, like,
Mhm.
under 250 cap, like,
True.
there's so much opportunity down there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's yeah, it's never been easier to access the opportunities via the internet. Um, but it's never been like a better time to get plugged into community and like be offline as well. So it's such a weird thing, like having both. And like you said, it's such a dichotomy. How do we how do we balance it? And who knows what the future is with all this AI, and I don't know. We just got to keep creating.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what is your, I mean, what is your fear? What is your, like, are you excited about AI at all, or are you just like have this like, just awful, torturous fear about it?
I don't think I have that fear feeling. Like, I think a lot of people do for good reason. Like, if I was mainly a music producer, perhaps I would feel, oh, like AI is taking my job because AI is taking songs and creating these perfect tracks. But I kind of am of the belief that, like, songwriting as a craft is going to shine through this AI age anyway, because AI can only copy what we've already done. It can't like receive a divine download from, another
King
realm.
Gizzard.
Yeah, of like this beautiful, emotional, human, imperfect song. So I think like the craft of songwriting will be kind of elevated, and people will be craving that like humanness and just imperfectness from music more than ever because of AI. Um, but yeah, there is like part of me that worries about how it's affecting the industry, because obviously there's it AI artists just unchecked now, like charting on Billboard and on Spotify by the dozen. And I think that is just one more reason like it's harder to break through the noise, because now there's not only all these artists, but there's AI artists, and that's more what worries me, I guess. But I don't think the craft of songwriting can ever be replaced by something artificial. It's just not,
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
The only thing that concerns me a little bit and is if you were in Austin, I don't know, are the Waymos in Nashville now?
Yes, I
Okay.
took my first Waymo in Austin.
Well, like I feel like the people that are listening to AI music are the same people that are riding Waymos. Like you're
Yeah.
taking people's jobs every time you ride one of those Waymos. Like, why am I
Yes,
giving Google my money? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's so stupid. But like, I
it
get it.
is.
Like, like those are the same people that are listening to AI artists. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And like it's difficult because the average listener that's not in the music industry may not be able to realize, oh, that's AI. Like my brother just sent me this Spotify artist the other day, and he was like, I love this artist. Oh my gosh, have you heard of them? And it was really cool music, but like the second I listened and clicked on it, I was like, that's AI. Like it's a complete AI profile. That's not a real person. That's a fake voice. And I can tell because I'm like trained, but he is just like, yeah, this is dope. And I'm like, no, support a real artist. But like these songs that AI is spitting out, like they are catchy and polished. And so I don't know. I think we'll have to see what unfolds, but I'm optimistic. But I think the more of the general public we can educate on it, the better.
Yeah,
So
I agree. So as an artist and as a performer, like when you go to a concert now, like is it difficult for you to just be like a fan, or are you like looking at everything? Are you listening for, like are you kind of like the scientist looking at the science fair?
yeah, that's so funny. Honestly, I would say it depends on the artist and like the size of the show. Because if it's like a giant show, like if I saw Casey Musgraves or, Harry Styles, I would be like so in it. But like if it's somebody smaller, I would be like having a critical brain of like, okay, how can I learn from their show and like implement that in my own show? So like how many players are up there? Are they running tracks? Like ooh, I like that move they just did, or like those things.
Hmm.
So if it's someone maybe similar to me, I would say it is a little bit tough to like just turn it off and like enjoy it, but
Yeah.
it's easier to do that when it's different genre music. Like if it's a crazy DJ pop show, I can just like have a great time and dance.
Hmm.
But if it's like an Americana show, like my music, I will be mentally taking notes of like how I can kind of improve and yeah.
So as a songwriter, do you typically, are you lyrics first and then music, or does it really kind of depend on the song? And then also like, are you more guitar or are you more piano when you write your songs?
For me, when I write a song, it's different every time. Like sometimes I get the words and the melody at the same time. That happens often when write by myself.
Okay.
Um, when I'm writing with other people, I would say I usually get like a concept or like the big idea around the song first, and then the rest of the lyrics and melodies tumble out from there. Um, but usually it's easiest for me to write when like I have a big idea in mind. So sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes it won't though. Sometimes I'll just be messing on my guitar and stuff is coming out and then suddenly there's a song in 30 minutes. um and I would say these days I mostly gravitate towards the guitar. Sometimes I even write a cappella
Okay.
because I'm not the best guitar player. Like I can get by, but yeah, I'm not a guitarist by any means.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hmm. So in Nashville, obviously, you are just surrounded by all of this musical talent. Like, has there been a time when you've worked with someone where you were just like either musically or just from like idea perspective where you were just like blown away?
Mm. Hmm. I would say maybe a few times.
Okay.
Um, huh. I would say, yeah, maybe a few, but maybe it's less about the song for me. Like, I'm trying to think, who do I love writing with that blows me away? Like, it's more like moments I can think of where I'm blown away. Like, whoa, that line came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or like, we were trying to fit the last puzzle piece of a song together for hours, and then like suddenly it just like falls together after we took a break or
Mhm.
things like that. Um, I can remember like being blown away by people's voices more than the writing,
Sure. Yeah.
I think. Maybe because I'm just so like in the process of writing, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I mean, let's talk about a songwriter himself, Adam Wendler. Like, how did you guys connect, and how did this project come about?
Yeah, we actually connected. The first time we ever wrote was Austin for Dasha. So that was crazy. We had never met, but we had both written with Dasha separately. And so obviously that song changed all of our lives and kind of a crazy first impression. So we kept in touch after that session and we kind of went on to be like, hey, let's keep writing, let's see what else we can do. And so um I mean, we've probably written 25, 30, 40 songs by now. Um, but yeah, so we met in LA. He went back to Berlin, which is where he lived with his fiance, and then he moved to Nashville a year ago. So since then, we've written a ton, and like writing for him, for me, for other artists, and just like lifting each other up. He's the one who brought me into kind of the circle of Berlin DJ and like dance producers.
Mhm.
So he invited me to those Europe camps, which really changed my life. So, yeah, super thankful for that creative partnership.
Yeah. So, I mean, man, like getting to spend all that time in Europe, having like those opportunities, was there something that you regret that you didn't get to do while you were over there, or was it pretty much all gravy?
Hmm, something I regret.
Or that maybe you had on your to-do list that you didn't like get to check off
Get
maybe.
to. Huh. I would say I regret that I didn't get to spend more time in Copenhagen. Um, because I had gone to Malmo, Sweden, which is a 30-minute train ride to Copenhagen.
Mhm.
But I was in Malmo for the Nordic Folk Alliance, and I was also doing some sessions there. And so I was like, oh, I'll just stay in Malmo, which was cool. But also, when I went over to Copenhagen for a couple days, I was like, whoa, like, I love it here. And I just wish I would have spent more time there. I think I only did 2 nights there. Um, and I saw what I could, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I missed quite a lot still.
I've heard from many bands that Berlin, Germany is amazing. Like, talk about Berlin as a city, because I would love to hear.
Yeah. I mean, Berlin is really it's amazing. It's like it's gritty, it's cool, it's fresh, it's like buzzing with energy. Um, People just don't care. Like it feels so like my social anxiety just didn't exist. It felt like because everyone was just so in their own like world kind of. And I've heard a few people say this, but like New York and LA are kind of the like trying to be cool, but Berlin is just cool. Like the baseline is just all these creatives that moved here when it was still, really run down and not doing well. And then they lifted the city up and made it what it is now.
Yeah.
So it's just such a unique place. Like the restaurants, the bars, like the hole in the wall places. Um, it's just a really cool city. And then the fact that public transport is the norm is even cooler because it's walkable. And yeah, I love a walkable city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do regret though, I didn't, when I was in Berlin, I did not try to get into Berghain, the like really famous club.
Okay.
So next time I go, I want to try and get in there. But yeah, I'm not like a big clubber, but I know they're amazing for the club scene.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I like whenever like Coachella is on like live stream or any of like the big festivals, like I always like watch the EDM stuff because I love that music and I love the vibe and stuff. But to your point, I mean like, to go to Paris, to go to like a club like that, to go to Berlin, to go to like, like that's true like, like dance like music places.
Right.
Nothing in
Like I would
America can
go,
replicate that.
yeah. I would go as maybe like a side quest, but it wouldn't be my like reason,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, but
So let's talk about then, this Folk Alliance. You did this in New Orleans this year. You said you were just at the one in Sweden too, then, huh? They have one in there?
yes. So, yeah, Folk Alliance International has chapters all over.
Okay.
So, this was the New Orleans one was the gathering of all around the world. So that was like the international one.
Okay.
And then the one I went to in April was the Nordic chapter. So all the Nordic countries come together. And that was really cool too. Very different music, very different folk type music. Um, but yeah, I mean, New Orleans was a blast. I'd never been. And again, it's like the biggest gathering of all these folk artists. So everyone stayed at this hotel, and like the showcases were happening on every floor
Yeah.
all night from like 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. Everyone was just up jamming, and it was amazing. Infectious energy. And like I met so many just genuine, sweet people. Like the folk music community is really special.
Hmm. So where is it next year? Do you know?
It's in Chicago.
Ah,
Yeah, so I really hope I'm gonna go. I think it's in January again.
okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be on my radar too because I've again like just I've heard enough great things and I love that concept that you just everybody's in the hotel and you just kind of like go to a room and yeah, that is
And
pretty
they're all like everyone who's hosting a room decorates it so beautifully. Like they'll have drinks out, they'll have like Christmas lights up, like they'll make it into a legit little showcase. It doesn't feel like a hotel room. It feels like really an intimate little venue. So it was so exciting to go, and like luckily I got to play just one like hotel room showcase. Super last minute I got on the bill, but yeah, it was just an amazing time.
yeah. So what are your favorite venues that you like to play and as well go to in Nashville then?
Hmm. Favorite venues? Um, I really love Skull's Rainbow Room downtown. That's in Printer's Alley. And that's more of me just going out to enjoy music. Because they play such a like different array of genres, and they even have burlesque some nights.
Nice.
But they're very jazzy, and they'll have like a jazz quartet or trio or whatever. Um, and I also love Rudy's Jazz Room for jazz. Like, I feel like when I go out and see music, I want it to be different than what I do on the day to day. So, yeah. But then I also go see a lot of writers' rounds, um, to support friends and just see like up and coming artists. There's one called Live Oak where they do some artist showcases and rounds as well. And um, I mean, my favorite place to play is probably the Bluebird. Obviously, it's famous. And then, like, people from all over the world come, and it's just so special because it's the one venue I feel like that still puts the craft of songwriting at the very top of the priority.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I've not been there, but it's on my list the next time we go.
Okay, yes. I mean, it's so famous. Like the tickets, you've got to get months in advance. It's insane. Every time they go, I think they drop the tickets every couple weeks, and um, yeah, they just sell out in under minutes
Yeah.
usually.
It's like a good music festival. You don't care what the lineup is. You just go because it's you're gonna have a good time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
want to know, like, you've probably crossed paths with a lot of heavy hitters in this industry. Was there an appearance or was there an interaction that was like where you kind of were starstruck?
Hmm. Interaction or like working with them.
Either one, yeah, either one, yeah.
Um, I was super starstruck in LA. I when I was still working at a bagel shop, um, I served Billie Eilish. So that was crazy. And it was still in the like COVID days. So
Sure.
she had a mask on when she ordered, but I could like tell from her eyes and her hair. And then she took her mask off to like, I don't know, finish her order at the end because we couldn't hear her. But yeah, it was this tiny little bagel shop in Burbank, California. And we weren't crowded that day at all, and she just was there, and I was like, okay, here's your orange juice.
I love
So
you.
yeah, that
Okay.
was wild.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about then this new this EP that's coming out in a couple days. It's called Act Two, the Desert EP. We already released Act One, what, in March
In January,
or January?
actually.
Okay.
Yes.
So talk about this whole process of doing these releases this way. Talk about, the whole project itself.
So yeah, this album, the whole thing is called The Artist's Pilgrimage. And so I kind of wrote it based on my own pilgrimage of, moving to Nashville with nothing but a dream, moving to LA to continue chasing that dream, and then leaving LA to move into my car and travel the West, kind of walking away from the industry because nothing was happening, and um, yeah, continuing to live on like blind faith. And yeah, so the whole journey of this album kind of is an homage. Is that how you say it? Pays
Yeah.
homage to every artist's journey. Like how you start out with a dream, or like a reason to try, a reason to leave home, something to chase.
Mhm.
Um, and so it comes with so many challenges, and I think it's not only about an artist's journey, but really anyone with a dream, like an entrepreneur, a creative, like really anyone who kind of sets out to do their own thing. And so this second part I'm rolling out right now is about act two of the pilgrimage. So act one was the dream, which tells the beginning.
Mhm.
Act two is called the desert because I believe there's this period of time in every artist's career or journey where, you've poured all this time and money and effort into reaching this dream, but you're not seeing any fruits of your labor yet. It's like dry spell, and you don't see anything. You're just kind of out in the wilderness, like holding on to faith that maybe it'll pay off and like maybe something will happen. But, you're facing all these inner doubts
Mhm.
and voices from other people telling you, like, are you really going to keep doing this? Like, the desert is just dry and like depressing. But
Coyotes.
yeah, it's deadly. Um, But, it's also a really special place because I think it is where you build strength and resilience and um, belief in yourself to keep going when it's really difficult. And so it's also where you build the capacity to hold success, like which you'll get if you keep going. So, yeah, that's what Act Two is about. And it's kind of based on the period of my life when I left Los Angeles because I had been, working at this dream for years. And I finally was like, dang, like I'm broke. I have nothing to show for this dream. And I was just so burnt out in LA. And so I kind of just threw my hands up and I was like, universe, if you want me to do this, you've got to make something happen because I'm exhausted.
Mhm.
And so I decided to do something else that I'd always wanted to do because I figured, oh, if music isn't happening right now, I need to do something that'll revive my soul because like I'm just burnt out, I'm like struggling. And so that's when I gave away everything I owned, moved into my little car, and decided to just start doing car life to kind of find myself on the road again. And some of these songs on the desert are songs that I wrote on the road, and I was literally in the desert, but then also metaphorically in the desert because I still had the dream, but I had nothing to show for it. Like I had no money. I was cleaning people's houses and living out of my car. And yeah, like I went through some of the most difficult mental battles at that time because I was completely alone and um, I really had to face myself and my demons and like my worst fears of, well, maybe music just isn't meant for me in this lifetime. Um, and so that's kind of the desert that I'm rolling out now. So the track list, there's Dry Spell is the first song, which talks about, you know, through all my money in the wishing well, nothing's coming true, far as I can tell. Um, and then the second song is Send Me a Sign. And that's kind of like, you're wandering in the desert. Like, am I really meant to do this? Please, something send me a sign that I'm on the right path. And then track three is Freestyle, which comes out Friday. And that's the song about me just saying, you know what? Peace out, LA. I'm going to go. I have no plan, but I'm just going to go freestyle for a while and see what the heck happens. And then after that, there is Devil in the Desert, which is already released, but
Right.
that one is kind of about me and like the mental battles I went through.
Mhm.
Um, and dealing with those negative voices. And then track five is We Are the Birds. And that is about just all of us as creatives and artists and how we will do this no matter what, similar to how the birds sing, whether anyone is listening. And then track six is Flying Blind. And that song is basically saying, I I still don't know where I'm going. Like I'm flying blind, but like I'm living for today and that's beautiful. Like I'm in the moment and I really am living my life. So, yeah, I'm excited for this whole project and um yeah, I'm proud of it and I think it's something every person goes through while they're trying to like get to where they want to go.
I have to ask though, like, you leave LA, you're doing this car life thing. How old are we? And like at any time or in this process, you know, did you like kind of have your life in danger, or were you like, did anything happen to you negatively that like, could have derailed all of this?
Actually, no. And kind of going back to the spiritual aspect of things, I had been asking for a sign for months. And I was kind of course, I was nervous and scared about this because, like, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm going to go, freestyle. But I was very anxious. Like, it was a really scary leap. But, like, I felt like I had to do it. And I don't know. The only thing that I can compare it to is like how in the Bible Jesus told his disciples like give away everything you own and follow me. Like that is complete surrender. It's like no plan, no possessions, just like blind faith that the divine will take care of you.
Mhm.
And so on this journey is kind of when I started communicating with God or like the divine again. And I would be like, I'm really anxious right now. Like, please show me a sign that I'm on the right path, or show me a sign that I'm safe and that you have me. And I started seeing like certain signs that I would ask for. Like, I'd write down in my journal, show me this, and it would pop up. And so, yeah. But to answer your question, I think, 24 when I left LA. And I turned 25 while I was still living in Colorado. So, yeah, it was crazy.
Now, I mean, was there anyone or like, you know, like that really like, kind of either took you in or like that kind of helped you out more than anyone else along that journey?
Mm, yeah, I mean, there were so many angels in my path. I also used this app called Trusted House Sitters. So I would like sit for people, like dog sit or cat sit, so that I would have a place to stay
Sure.
and like shower. Um, and that was a joy because I love animals, and it was really like a win-win and such divine timing that I found this opportunity. So, I mean, I I pet sat for probably 23 different people in the span of 6 months. And um, also in Colorado, when I was running really low on money, my boss for the cleaning company, she put new tires on my car because it was winter in Colorado. And so I was out here like broke, but like driving in the mountains to all these houses to clean. And so she was like, "Girl, you need winter tires on that car." Like, so she ended up doing that for me. And, you know, um, she really took me under her wing. And um, yeah, shout out Shannon from Evergreen, Colorado. She's definitely an angel.
Awesome. So I got two more questions for you. As someone who does not have tattoos, I notice you have a decent amount. When did you get your first one? And like, what is it about tattoos that just, you gravitate toward?
Mm. Well, I'll show you my first one, but it's kind of hard to see
Yeah.
because I covered it up with this boot. So
Okay.
my very first one was this rose. I don't know if you can
Yep.
tell, but um, I got that when I was, I think, 18 on spring break. And I had always wanted to get a rose tattoo because that's my middle name, and my grandmother named me my middle name. And so I felt like it was honoring her, but also like I just always felt drawn to tattoos as a kid. Like my parents would hate it, but I would draw on myself with markers. And I think it goes back to the style thing. I'm like, I feel I'm only here for a temporary time. So why not customize my body the way I want? And like, I see each tattoo as kind of a souvenir of a place I've been, or like a period in my life, or like, sometimes I get them for the songs I write, to like if it's a really special song. So, yeah, it's just another DIY fashion type thing.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, for me, I've never had anything that I either image or saying or whatever that I thought was powerful enough that I could put on my body. But that's
Hmm.
just me.
Yeah, I get that. I really do. For a
Yeah.
while, I felt like that. But then the more I got, the more I was like, it really isn't that deep. Like, I can get a tattoo and it doesn't have to mean anything super deep. I can just like it, and that's reason enough.
Yeah. So how many are we up to now?
Oh, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. I want to say like 17.
Wow. Yeah, that's yeah,
I
okay.
might be missing one, but I don't know.
And none of them are regrets, right? Oh, you love them all.
I love them all now,
Yeah.
but I will also say with tattoos, they are permanent. And so I think it's a practice of self-love. Like
Mhm.
if I leave the studio and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this looks so crazy. Like I did not expect this." I get used to it after a few days and then I'm like, "Well,
Okay.
it's the same as loving my body.
Yeah.
Like I might not like how big my thighs are or like whatever, but like this is my body, so I'm gonna love it."
Hey, it's words to live by. I think more people should go by that. So my last question for you, I want to know what is your ideal way to listen to music? Are you in the car? Are you headphones? Are you like in your living room with like really nice speakers? Like, what is it a concert? What's your ideal way to listen to music?
Oh, wow. I do love live music. Um, I would say there's something special about vinyl for me, though. I recently started collecting a few and, got my first record player. And so in my new apartment here, I don't have a TV. I just like love to put on a new vinyl and eat my dinner while listening to, a vinyl I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
So hearing some albums that I've heard digitally in that format really, it blows me away, especially older music.
Mhm.
Like I love the 70s era and like Joni Mitchell and Fleetwood Mac, Crosby, Stills and Nash. So hearing those records, how they were intended to be heard for that era is so special. So yeah, I just love a little vinyl listening sesh. Put on a candle, get some tea, and just like let the cracks kind of yeah, just listen to it.
Yeah. Hey, that's not a bad Wednesday night.
Not bad at all. Living the dream.
Living the dream. So can we expect any touring for the rest of the year or what can you let us know about that?
Touring, I don't know yet for this year. I really want to make something happen for the fall or possibly the winter after the whole album is out. Um, but I've been taking polls on my TikTok and it sounds like a kind of Midwest and East Coast um uh what do you call it? Route
Yeah.
is gonna be the winner. So I'll probably be up in um, like yeah, the Midwest through Ohio and then up the coast at some point, the fall or the new year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I guess I'd be remiss not to talk about Nicole and Brickshore and like, your team behind you, what they have done for your career and like, if you want to point anybody out individually.
For sure, yes. Nicole has been a game changer because she's my first person on my team solely for my artistry. So she has really lifted me up and gotten me some amazing opportunities on like radio, TV, live shows, things that really put my artistry at the forefront.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for that. Um, and then my publisher also is a huge player on my team. I'm with Bossy Songs under Sony. And so my main publisher is David Stam, and he is incredible. He's just an amazing A&R, always thinking ahead for me, putting me in sessions with new people, scouting new artists for me to write for. And then my LA A&R as well, Sarah Stickle, she does the same thing, but for when I'm in LA. So they kind of oversee my writing calendar and help me grow in that area. Um, and I'll also say my best friend from home, Haley Williams, she does a lot of my photography and graphic design for my merch.
Okay.
And it's just so much fun to work with someone who knows me so well and like she knows my vision
Yeah.
and she's just my best friend. So yeah, it's really meaningful to get to work with her too.
Well, that's awesome. Cheyenne, I best of luck. I can't wait to listen to this act two.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, enjoy Nashville and enjoy the rest of summer. And can't wait
Thank
to
you so
see
much.
you when you come to the East
Yes.
Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully see you at Americana Fest or
Yeah. Yeah.
something around here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back down to Nashville, and I will let you know when that happens. So,
Yes, please. And
yeah.
thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed chatting.
Well, I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our social media pages. That helps us and that helps the artists and bands like Bandana Cheyenna. Also, check out our sponsor, RAR Outfitters. That's RAWR. Outfitters.com. Don't just wear, RAR. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Dog. You've been great. This is the Music Lab podcast.